We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's up?
So, man, y'all looking bundled up out there, though, bro. What that weather hitting for?
Oh, it's like 66 today.
Y'all looking so y'all straight then. We oddly enough, man, we were probably about 55 today. It felt kind of warm. Maybe I was so used to it being so cold. I went out and checked the mail and it was straight though, bro.
Nah, it's a light jacket, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a short sleeve, so you know.
Okay. Well, listen, bro. A lot to talk about today, though, man. Let's go ahead and get it rolling there, Pippin.
All right, bro.
Let's do it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast
If you
of all
smell.
time.
It doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, and it's your first time checking in your boys now, listen, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the bell, you click on the notification, the subscription if you're on YouTube. Well, you get the heads up, your boys are doing their thing. Ace Kennedy. Let's get straight to this one, bro.
Which one? Because there's so many.
Where you want to start?
Man, let's get the big headline out the way. Let's slide into it. First of all, we both lifelong, and I'm talking lifelong wrestling fans, bro. You know, it goes back for us. It goes back on the sticks. We used to play WWE versus NWO or WCW versus NWO.
Right.
And, WWE 2000, right? So Royal Rumble was this weekend, which Royal Rumble is, you know, it's the start of new feuds. It's also capping off feuds that are preparing for WrestleMania. So like some of the people when they're so for WWE, it's like, all right, this is our last ditch effort to really solidify, because they call it the road to WrestleMania, right? So everybody who follows WWE knows that Cody Rhodes won it last year. He ended up winning it again this year, which hasn't been done for 26 years. Last person to do it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And it's a big deal because, you know, because I'm older and because I'm more into the business side of things now. Of course, I've heard the rumblings that The Rock was going to be facing Roman Reigns at this year's WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania 40. It's I forget where it's at. I think it was I don't know if this one was in Los Angeles or last one was in Los Angeles. Either way, WrestleMania 40, supposed to be big. The Rock came out earlier in the year and basically said, look, he didn't know whether he should be sitting at the head of the table, which is a direct shot to Roman Reigns. So people was like, Cody's story looks like it's going to come to a complete halt for a minute because The Rock trying to put his hand in the bid, right? So fast forward, like I said, the boy Cody Rhodes, he wins the WrestleMania, and he gets on the conference call or the post game interview afterwards, and he was like, "Look, I saw all the memes, I saw all the gifts. And I just want to say before we answer any questions, this is who I am. And he gave the rundown of who he was, what executive he used to be, where he came from, why people didn't like, Stardust, and why people didn't like Mustache Cody and Cody with no knee pads, like all of them Codys, right? And he said, no, I'm that dude now. WWE gonna strap that rocket to my back and I'm gonna take it to where it need to go. And whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. They even asked him about the stuff we gonna get into, which is Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And he answered that like a professional. And that's what it is. WrestleMania.
Well, let me stop you. Why is The Rock trying to steal this man's shine?
He's not. So The Rock came out on back when, college football. He said, look, we actually had it pretty much in stone. It was going to be me versus Roman. I don't know if it was for WrestleMania 38 or for 39, but he said for some reason we couldn't lock it in. When they wanted me back, I couldn't train enough to be in the shape that I should be in. And so when you think The Rock, you think, oh, The Rock is in shape. There's a difference between being in shape and being in wrestling shape. And so Rock was like, look, it's just not going to work for me right now to be in wrestling shape in order to make it work. They couldn't get the details together. So it's not so much that he's trying to steal Cody shine, because that's one thing The Rock came out and said, like, look, I am not trying to derail none of WWE's plans, but at the same time, this was something that's supposed to happen. It's supposed to be that passing of the torch. You know what I'm saying? It's Roman's cousin. I mean, it's Rock's cousin. So it just makes sense that at some point they got to meet. And it would just make sense if you bring in The Rock back, that it would be for WrestleMania. I know people have their ups and downs about part-timers coming and headlining WrestleMania when you have this talent that's there from day in, day out, that's putting their line, their bodies on the line, this, that, and the other. And then the biggest stage of them all, you have a part-timer that comes in, like you said, and steals the shine. So that's been the conversations, but it looks like WWE was like, nope, this is what it is. And I think originally Seth Rollins was supposed to face CM Punk. And so all of those plans had to change. CM Punk just got hurt at Royal Rumble. So this was his first match.
Did he?
Yes, sir. Torn tricep. He's out. He is out. CM Punk, this was his first match back after being gone from WWE for 10 years. And it was at Royal Rumble, his last match. And he came back and got hurt in the Royal Rumble. So now, and so the other thing was they were worried about Seth not being at WrestleMania because Seth has something going on with his leg. But I think they did the surgery or gonna do the surgery, and he's gonna be back in time to make it happen. So it's a lot of things that are changing with the WWE as we speak when it comes to storylines. Seth cut this dope promo on Cody Rhodes. He was like, look, bro, everybody knows you out here trying to finish your story. Everybody knows that you already challenged Roman Reigns. He said, but I just want you to pump the brakes on that real quick. And basically, you should be trying to wrestle me. He said, man, forget what Roman talking about. He said, Roman got the Hollywood title. He got the Hogan title, the one everybody politicking in the back. You know what I'm saying? This title that I got, this is the one that was brought because of the fans. This is the one, this is the workhorse title. He said, when we out on the road doing the live shows, I'm defending this title. When it's time for TV, I'm defending this title. He said, this is the title your dad had. So if you want to fight for somebody that's got the real title, you should come fight me. Fight for the workhorse title. He said, because we know if we ask Cody, we ask your daddy, we know which one he would pick. So if I'm you, choose me. So it was so dope. So dope. But anyway, Royal Rumble was real good, bro. I enjoyed it. I know you say you ain't like the women's Royal Rumble. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, let me before we let's since we're talking about that, because this is what I'm wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it taking Damian Priest so long to cash in? Like, when is he? What? So if he could just go in and just basically like get the shoe in for a title, right? I would imagine that he would, for the more prestigious one. Like, what's stopping Damian Priest from letting him go against The Rock or the Roman Reigns belt? Slide right on in at the end and take that belt. Like, if I'm him, if that's the more prestigious one, the Hollywood belt, if I'm Damian Priest, that's the one I'm trying to get.
Not really, because Damian Priest is on Raw, and as much as like, and again, you and I know this is all storyline stuff. What I do appreciate that they're doing with Damian Priest is because they are teasing it. Like there's been times he's come down to try to, cash in, and things have happened.
Yeah.
So I can very easily see them right now, because the CM Punk thing is scrapped and Seth is hurt. You let I was finna call him Claymore. Let McIntyre win it at WrestleMania, and maybe have him come and steal it from him after he's been beat up by Seth, because of the fact that they've teased McIntyre being a part of the Judgment Day, right?
Yeah.
And so that would create a rift, and that's some storyline that you can move forward, because you got to get away from Seth because he's got a heel. So there's ways that they could do that. Plus, that would give Judgment Day all of the belts, because I think currently they have the tag belts. Yeah, they have the tag belts, because he's the tag champion with Finn Balor. So, and then Rhea Ripley's got the belt, and then Dom used to have the North title or something from NXT. So anyway, it would be good to do something like that, but they gotta redo plans now anyway, since CM Punk is out. But like I said, I enjoyed the women's rumble because of the fact, it's a lot of moving parts. And the reason why I bring that up is because in the men's rumble, the rumor was that Brock Lesnar was supposed to be in a spot and they had to replace him, which we'll get into in a second. But the women, what I thought was dope is typically they always bring in the legends. They bring in the Trish Stratus. They bring in the Kelly Kellys. They bring in the Michelle McCools. You know what I'm saying? They bring in the Laylas. They do all of this stuff. This year, they didn't have to use any legends. They used all WWE women outside of Jordan Grace, which is the TNA Knockouts champion at the moment. She just defeated Trinity, Naomi, who just came back to the WWE. That's who she defeated in order to get the belt, because she was on her way out. So I thought that was dope. And they built a lot of nice feuds. The girl, our girl from AEW,
Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill made her first
out there looking fine, boy. I said, "Oh my God, boy! Listen, bro, she's so fine to me, it's ridiculous, bro."
What I thought was dope. She looked like she fit, and I heard she's having some issues remembering spots, stuff like that. I mean, detail stuff, but for the most part, she looked very good. They made her look strong. They had her pick up Nia Jax. They had her kind of like feuding with the girl. EST. They had her kind of feuding with Becky Lynch. Like they had her rolling out there with the big girls.
Listen. They need. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I gotta see her and Bianca Belair go, bro.
They stood it. They set it up really good. They had them both. They had both had somebody up in the air, and they looked at each other like, "Hold up, I know you ain't doing the same thing." They dropped them both and stood in the ring next to each other, and then that's when they got hit. So it was dope how they set it up. So I can definitely see that coming down the line. But anyway, again, I thought the women's stuff was cool. I hate that it was spoiled that Bayley was going to win, because I kind of heard that last week. It wasn't even trying to.
I was actually surprised, because I was just like, all right, well, what's the point of Bayley winning?
Man, they had this whole thing where they said where they had this leak. Again, I wasn't looking for it. It just, when you listen to wrestling news, they just drop stuff. So still was happy for Bayley. It was cool to hear Triple H, his reasoning behind it, and how he's like, look, she gets overlooked a lot of times because because she does everything good. We just have her kind of positioned to do all these different things and don't really,
He wouldn't be saying all that if Charlotte was out there. He'd still be overlooking her if Charlotte was out there. So get out of it with that. That was crap.
Well, there's two belts though. So I like the fact that both belts, well, I say that. I was fixing to say both belts are relevant. But I'm gonna be honest, man. What's it, EO Sky or whatever? Forgettable. And
listen, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, bro. I don't even know who has the belts right now.
Yes, you do. Rhea Ripley got it. She.
I know Rhea. Besides Rhea Ripley, that's it.
And it's EO Sky. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. But the reason why it makes sense for Bayley, because ever since that what's her name came back from Japan, she had retired, and she went to Stardom and back in Japan. I can't think of her name. Anyway, she came back and was kind of still in their faction. Dang, all of that stuff is just flying out my head. But anyway, Bailey's in that same faction, so they've been teasing, kicking her out of the faction, which Io Sky has the belt. She's in the faction with her. So with her winning, with with a Bailey winning, now they can create the storylines for the rest of the new year. So super dope. But like I said, let's Royal Rumble was good. I didn't like the Roman Reigns match. It was such a filler match. It was trash. They could have just left that off the card.
It wasn't even like a Raw match.
No, it was, bro. It was so whack. Like, it was such a wasted. I get it. You wanted to have those big guys on the card, but they could. It was so. He won clean over AJ Styles. It was just, but of course, he still cheated to win. I mean, everything. It just made Seth's promo go up that much higher because of how he described everything. It was so dope. But the big news.
I think it's funny.
What's up?
I think it's funny to me that Kevin Owens is getting slim, but his head is the same size, bro. Like his arm and his body, he looks like he's like, since I last was watching wrestling regularly, he looks like a solid 20 pounds lighter, right? He's almost like, he almost got that 50 Cent going where,
but he still got the
like
gut, though.
50 pounds and his head is the same size. Kevin Owens is the same way to me. Yeah,
he still got the gut though.
Yeah.
But I figured by now he would have like just kind of, I wouldn't say like, you remember how Big Show kind of got cut? That's what I would expect for Kevin Owens. Not necessarily saying he gotta be slim, but just shape different. But he
don't look as muscular.
I like Kevin Owens, bro. Kevin Owens is like me watching me wrestle. So I love seeing Kevin Owens out there.
So it's funny. Part of that is the same with me with Randy Orton.
Yeah, bro. Randy Orton
he's very easy my favorite wrestler, bro, right now.
Listen, bro. Randy's so cut, bro. Randy huge, bro. He is huge. Yeah.
I always thought that at my heaviest that I would have wanted to be about Randy Orton's size, though, bro. But now I just don't know. I guess for him, carrying that as regular weight is straight. You know what I'm saying? But golly, though, boy. I mean, Randy ain't no spring chicken out there, though, man. So I'm just sitting there thinking, like, bro, to be carrying that kind of muscle this early on, like maybe it's a regular, maybe that's his regular weight now for him, though.
It is his regular weight now. It's almost like I would love to see him and Montez Ford have a program together.
Oh man, listen, I'm gonna be honest. So Landon asked me now, mind you, this is without me knowing all the backstories and everything like that. Who's gonna win? He said, who you want to see win? Who you rooting for? I said, well, if Randy Orton's in it, I'm gonna root for Randy Orton. But I told him, I said, I wouldn't mind the boy Montez. I said, I think it's about time for Montez to break off from his partner, though, bro.
Well, it's funny you say that because he's been dropping some jewels in podcasts and stuff like that, and they don't have the Total Divas show anymore, but they have Love in WWE, which is Bianca Belair and Montez Ford that starts on February the 2nd. And so with that, I think he's going to be talking about his journey. You're going to see the conversation between him and his partner, and because he's watching his wife, who's been at the top, the pinnacle, who's headline WrestleMania and stuff like that. He's going to be dealing with that in there too. So I do think he's got a solo run coming. He just basically said, look, bro, as soon as they give me the green light, I'm putting up numbers. That's it. That's just what it is. So, but you mentioned somebody, he got a lot of miles on him. And we talked about the boy CM Punk. This is his second tricep tear. He tore it in AEW. He had a foot injury in AEW. And it's like every time they put that rocket on his back, his body is breaking down, bro. What should the boy CM Punk do, bro?
He's old, bro. Like, he's old. And that's the thing about it. I think, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that, and I don't have any scientific proof about this, but I think it has to be something to be said about when you're a part-timer, though, bro. Your body isn't going through the rigors of it every single day that a day-to-day wrestler who wouldn't sustain those same. Like I said, it could vary. Like I am not a doctor, bro. So I'm not going to even pretend to be one on the podcast. I just think that it has to be. You can't tell me that it's nothing, that he hasn't been a full-time wrestler and then he comes back and he has these kind of injuries that he didn't have previously when he was full-time. Granted, he's older
though.
too.
He is full time though. He's been full time at AEW. Like
Yeah, but this is what I think about it. He came back to AEW
2 years ago.
and when he came back to AEW, he had the injury there. He hasn't been full time for very long. That's what I'm saying. And not just that, though. AEW gave him a much lighter schedule, though. So
he was wrestling. He was wrestling once a week. The thing with WWE, they wrestle 4 or 5 times. But even still, though, right? The older guys, they don't do a lot of the live shows.
I think that it ain't. I refuse to believe that it's just. I can't dismiss the age and the inactivity.
No. I think it's age and all of the activity he sustained before, like the mileage he already put on his body. Like you got that mileage, then you went to the UFC.
I can see that.
That's what I'm attributing it to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
I can see that because I mean, listen, even just me being just active now, though, bro. Listen, I can tell, man, that I know for sure for me that there are some things like you think, bro, I can't do certain things like I used to. My knees hurt after I hoop. I got to ice them down. There's a lot of stuff that I can't do like that no more, though, man. So I get it. But to say I'm gonna go out there and be wrestling somebody and try to pick up somebody who's 240, 250 pounds, like, nah, bro.
Well, I will say, bro, he opened up Raw, giving his address, like basically telling everybody, look, WrestleMania 40 ain't for me. I got to come back next year. Whoop de whoop de whoop. Dope promo. It definitely showed why WWE was like, nah, he's still that dude, right? He got like his mic skills is just unmatched.
He got to buffing up though, bro. He was out there looking all regular. Dad, but I think he got to look. He got to. If he's gonna be doing that though, bro, he got to put on. He got to do that Randy Orton, bro. Come back with more muscle, man.
See, we definitely be watching different stuff, bro. Because CM Punk did look pretty cut up. He just didn't have no abs, bro.
Yeah, this. Let me tell you, this is crazy. I low-key got a problem with wrestlers with no abs, bro. Like, listen, I'm so old school that abs was a requirement. Like, you can't come out there with your shirt off with no abs, bro. Because this is my thing about it. It's part of the extraordinary feat of being a wrestler, right? Is that no, these people are our age, but they have these incredible athletic looking bodies. And if you out here with no six-pack, bro, you ain't got the abs out here, then yeah, you got a whole everyday dad body, bro. And I that looks weird to my eye though. I'm so old school that you can't be out here with no abs, bro.
Bro, you are old school about a lot of stuff. You will not change for nothing, bro.
Like, you know what it is, though, bro? I think that I find that I am changing things, but there are certain things that where my eyes just can't unsee things. It's hard for my eye to. It's one thing when you're living in times and you're making adjustments, right? Yeah. But it's another thing. Like I know what my eyes are seeing, bro, and my eyes just tell me that in the tradition that isn't right. That doesn't look right to me.
So with your old school mentality, are you going to be able to let Vincent Kennedy McMahon go?
Listen, get Vince the hell out of here, bro. Get Vince the hell out of here.
Oh, my God. Bro. All right. So we've been beating around the bush. Let's get into this.
And listen, shout out to the big homie, the big little homie, Chris Top, for checking in. Because you are right. All of the old school wrestlers didn't have great bodies, but the ones that I like did. So let me tell you, I'm going to tell you why. Let me give you a perfect example, right? Uh-huh. So I like Rick Rude. I like Paul Orndorff. I like Don Morocco. I like Bruno Sammartino. All the rest, I like Ric Flair. A young Ric Flair had abs. A young Great Muta, Sting, had abs. I like Sid Vicious. Sid Vicious had abs, though, bro. I wasn't as big of a Big Van Vader fan or Bam Bam Bigelow fan. I like all of the wrestlers that had abs. So I don't disagree with you that old school wrestlers didn't have bodies. But listen, bro, by the time Ric Flair didn't have abs, Hell, he was like 50 years old, and I thought that he still looked like an incredible, in shape 50-year-old though, man. So, but but to each his own. I agree with you though, man. Cactus Jack, Mick Foley didn't have it. I wasn't as big of a Mick Foley guy as I was Stone Cold or The Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like all the ones that I like had abs, bro.
Stone Cold didn't have no abs, bro.
Who?
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold did have abs, bro.
You gonna make me look it up. But look, we gotta get into this.
Listen,
We gotta get to this Vince story, bro.
listen, get Vince the hell out of here. That's one thing it is far overdue to get Vince and John Laurinaitis there. It's so listen, I honestly think, bro, that you could have gotten rid of them 10 years ago, and it would have been more than justified, bro.
Yeah. So
y'all are bugging, by the way. Stone Cold did have abs, bro.
nah, he had no abs, bro. I'm looking at
Yeah,
pictures.
well, y'all better go back and check. Stone Cold had abs, bro.
Nah,
Listen,
he ain't had no abs, bro.
yeah, Stone Cold had abs, bro. Stone Cold had, before we jump on this, Stone Cold had abs when he came back as a 50-year-old Stone Cold. Then still had abs. I'm saying Stone Cold, when he hurt his knee and came back and he had the big knee brace, he didn't have the abs like that. But before he had the knee brace, Stone Cold had abs, bro. You don't see him with his, you ain't got no shirt off picture on him though, man. But that boy had abs though, man. When he was stunning Steve Austin, he had abs, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. So Vince
allegedly, McMahon is out here getting. Listen. I think that this. I don't know the details of how these allegations came.
That's
out.
what I was going to. I was going to
run. Let me run. Give me a rundown.
Okay. Allegedly, because he has not been proven guilty yet. But we just gonna give you what's popping in these streets. So Vince was over to WWE, and allegations came out that he had some sexual misconduct things happening, and he was what got him in the affairs and got that didn't get him in trouble. What got him in trouble is because he used corporate money to pay hush money to these people.
The last time,
okay, and there was I think there was I don't remember the amount of women, maybe like 31 or something like that. There was lawsuits and stuff that at least 15 or 16 that he had covered up and got taken care of. Okay. But he used WWE money. Him and John Laurinaitis were named in the suit. So They let them go or Vince retired. Okay.
Pause for a minute. John Laurinaitis, who is married to Nicki and Brie Bella's mom.
Yes. He also used to be, I think, Johnny Ace in
Johnny Ace, something like that. Yeah.
He used to ride around on the scooter to people. I forgot what it was, but he used to play a character on WWE as well. But he was president of talent operations or something like that.
Yeah.
So anywho, they let John Laurinaitis go. They fired him, and Vince retired. So then Vince wiggled his way back into WWE. He basically like, look, we getting ready for these the TV rights deal is about to come up. So I'm gonna come back and basically help get the TV rights deal done. And when he came back, he fired the people that didn't want him there. And he basically put in his contract, like, nope, you can't let me go. So then WWE sold to Endeavor. Endeavor created a company that's called TKO that has UFC and the WWE as one company. So under TKO, Vince no longer had the majority shares of WWE. Ariel Helwani, I think his name, is like over everything now. He was named the CEO. So then Vince had it in his contract where it was like, look, you can't get rid of me unless I die or become incapacitated. So he had that ironclad contract. But again, he don't have the majority shares. So they said, look, our stocks is going down because we got you still out here as the face. So we're going to have to put you to the side. Triple H, you go ahead and take over all creative decisions. Vince, you out. So Vince is sitting in the cut, making money. Like, okay, cool. then drops this particular sexual allegations. But this time, this chick got receipts. Basically, the long story less long is there's a chick that he hired that he created a position for, and he was knocking her down. And then he was passing her off to John Laurinaitis. They was having threesomes. They was doing this. They was doing that. And then he just started pimping her out, allegedly, to other parties. Like he was showing pictures and stuff to the production staff, showing them and so the reason why Brock Lesnar was pulled from Royal Rumble is because in the suit it said that during a contract renegotiation in a certain year, I think it was like 2021 or 23 or whatever, or 2003, I'm sorry, there was a former WWE and UFC champion who Vince had gave her to in order to help with the contract negotiations. And so people was like, UFC champion, WWE champion. It
ain't Kid Shamrock.
Right. So it kind of just looked like it was Brock Lesnar. So they had to pull him quick. So now you got text messages upon text messages upon text messages.
She got the best receipts. She got the best receipt. Listen, her receipts are so good that they're redeemable anywhere, bro. Like, it ain't like, listen, bro, listen, because let's get to this, bro. When you go through and you read her text messages that she has between her and Vince, you can kind of see how it started out where he was just knocking her down. And then for some reason, as it progressed into Vince almost like, yo, let's go ahead and have these threesomes jumping off, which is one thing that I'm blown away by, because Vince seems to be an advocate of it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none, because he finds a way to pull John Laurinaitis into everything, right? All the women that he had the allegations before, he was tied up in them things as well, though, right?
Hold on. So John Laurinaitis, I got to give you this one thing. One of the things, the details that she said that their boy Vince hired her. John Laurinaitis had a new position, and he ended up having a hotel room, and he sent her to him every morning and said, you got to go serve him up before that's how you're going to start your day. As a matter of fact, you're going to be known to John Laurinaitis as his breakfast.
Yeah. So listen, not just that, she tells Vince, yeah, man, the boy John Laurinaitis is talking about having some three ways with not Vince and him, but a separate three-way, right? And Vince was like, yeah, John just be wild like that. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta look out to him like that, though, right? So then she proceeds to go ahead and slide through with the boy John. So what's wild about this, right, is that when she slides through with him, Vince is telling her, she comes back and tell him, like, yo, yeah, I did it. The boy was out there wilding, said I'm a little sore. And Vince is like, yeah, that's part of the passion, is you being a little sore. Matter of fact, I'm going to slide through. I got to get some of that sore monkey, bro. And I'm blown away, because then Vince is telling her in other text messages, like, oh, yeah, what'll be good? You with 3 big black cocks. And I'm just thinking, like, wait a minute, Vince. 3, I can only think of 3. Listen, 3, 4, 5 black wrestlers, right? I'm thinking of New Day, which this is kind of crazy because listen, I'm thinking New Day because Xavier Woods already has a tape out there with the other referee and with Paige, right? They have a tape that's out there, right?
But we ain't finna implicate them. We ain't finna implicate them.
But
listen, we don't know that it was the New Day.
I'm thinking three black guys. I think the New Day right off the bat. And then I'm also thinking, like, okay, then you got Ricochet, you got Street Profits, but Vince ain't even talking about him. Vince said, oh, you good with three other ones, right? And this is the part that I think is wild, though, right? The part that I think that's wild about this is when he alluded to passing, he said, yeah, in the text messages, yeah, I show some of the guys from tech, we call them, our technical guys or whatever, and he was very specific. He said, I show about 12 guys, right? I show 12 guys your picture. All of them say, oh, yeah, She got a nice tail on her. She got nice boobs or whatever. And Vince is like, oh, yeah, she'll do all 12 of y'all. All 12 of y'all. But she only going to do 3 at a time. She only good for 3 at a time, though, bro. And I think the part that blew me away by this is how liberal Vince is at basically passing this girl around. So when she said that she was basically sexually trafficked around, that's exactly how when you go through the description of this, of what happened in the receipt. So you can tell me it's alleged. You can tell me that Vince might say she's a disgruntled employee. Whatever you tell me that's disgruntled. The receipts from you say that you passed her around or alluded to you passing her around to at least 15 to 18 different guys, right? 15, 18, because you showed 12 guys from tech. You alluded to 3 black guys, and you already said that you would go ahead and do you to knock down a threesome with her, and then John Laurinaitis had a threesome with. That's at least 18 guys right there that Vince has basically passed along. And listen, I think it's just blown away because Vince apparently loved the cakes, but he doesn't like them enough to where he ain't willing to share the cakes, bro. Like, listen, Ace Kennedy, I couldn't imagine. Let's just talk about this from a practical perspective, right?
Yeah.
And since the big homie Chris is out here in the comments, I couldn't imagine you coming across a girl and you said, golly, boy, these is top 5 cakes ever. My dude Charlie got to get up on this one. I got to put my boy Charlie up. Not just that. Let me call my boy Chris Top up. They so good, I can't even keep them to myself. I got to pack, and that's the part I'm blown away by. So when I look at Vince, what makes him to me seem to be such a predator is because the history, for one, of the other 30 girls, right? But at the same time, what makes Vince look like a predator is the fact that he feels so like empowered by his position to where this is regular. When she said that, oh, I'm still a little sore, you know what I'm saying? And Vince like, oh yeah, that is what it is. That comes with the game. That's the cakes I want. And then wait a minute, hold up. She says Brock comes through and says, oh, if I get them cakes, it ain't gonna be no good for y'all after I get these cakes, because I'm gonna tear it down. And Vince was so thrilled that all the homies is pounding out this girl. So I'm just like, bro, I know that I've heard the phrase, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Never in my life have I seen somebody make that more apparent than Vince.
Now listen, I did not watch, or I didn't read all the text messages, but I know she said that she told them that she was done. And and Vince was like, nah.
He's like, nah, absolutely
ain't no being done.
Vince like, I got a few more threesomes and a few more partners that I need to go ahead and pass these cakes to.
So that's what makes it look weird, because she asked out of it. Because here's the thing. Let's just keep it real. We just talking, right? If all of this stuff was going on and it was consensual.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because I don't want to victim shame.
Right.
But I was talking to the research department about this last night, and she was like, listen, a lot of this seems like she was very complicit in this whole thing, because she basically was saying, like, I understand that was her job, and maybe she felt like the job was part of that she felt like that she had to keep doing that to keep her job.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. I get that completely. At some point, I think that when she was trying to be done with this whole thing, she actually had an NDA where she was paid out like $3 million or something like that, though, right?
No, the NDA came because Linda found out about it. Linda McMahon found out about it. She fired her, and they signed the NDA. But hold up. Vince still was smashing after the NDA.
Vince was still smashing after the NDA. Vince said, no, bro,
it ain't over. It ain't over.
Listen, bro. So that's what I'm saying, though, man. You think about that. Vince, it's not even so much bro, I don't even think that it's about the sex for Vince. It's so much as the control. It's the authority, right? They always talk about that on the we're the authority. And Vince took the authority in literal, real life, not as a job, not as a work, not as a character. He was like, no, this is the authority, though, bro. And that's what I think is crazy to me about it. So, yes, I believe not just you can tell me whatever you want to tell me about her being disgruntled. You can say, oh, she thought she was eligible for a pay increase and didn't get it, or she thought that she was in love with Vince and he wouldn't leave her, his wife, whatever you want to tell me, right? That's all perfectly fine. What I am saying, though, bro, is that when you tell me that Vince has just passed this woman around graciously to all of his partners, right? Then it also makes you think of like, oh, dang, you know, if Vince been applying to all these threesomes, like, who's all involved with these? Like, who else? You know what I'm saying? Like, if John Laurinaitis pounded it out and John Laurinaitis had a three-way with her, it wasn't with, he had one with Vince, but who was the other, the separate one? Who he recruiting?
Well, it's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that because, wait a minute, there's more. The girl Ronda Rousey gets on X and she said, listen, since y'all boys is looking into Vince, y'all need to look into Bruce Pritchard because that's his boy. When Vince was retired, he was sending all his stuff through Bruce Pritchard. So that's his avatar. That's his dude. Y'all need to look at Bruce Pritchard.
Wouldn't surprise me. Would not listen. You can't tell me. You can't not listen. I'm going to tell you my theory of the people that were involved. And I don't know the names. I'm just going to tell you the kind of people that I think would be involved. I think that it would be a John Laurinaitis and Bruce Pritchard, the people who are the more executives. They had to have known that Vince was going on. And I'm not going to say just enabled it. Enabling it is separate because you have other enablers who I think that they just look at Vince like the creepy old man. So those were the people who knew about it, who just was riding. But those were the people, the John Laurinaitis, the Bruce Pritchards, those are the people who was going. What doesn't surprise me if all three of them smash this girl at the same time, right?
But again, we can't implicate Bruce.
You can't implicate it. This is just my theory, right? Okay. My theory on this one. I don't want to get us. Right. Well, listen, you can't. Vince McMahon can't get us canceled, bro. Like, come on, man, get out my face.
But here's the thing. Let me ask you this question though, because this is some people keep bringing up, and I'm like, I just can't, in good conscience, loop him into this. People are thinking that Triple H had to know.
Hey, listen. You would be hard pressed to convince me that Triple H didn't know. And listen, I think that he may have knew from a distance. He may have thought something was going on. He knows Vince's behavior. Let me tell you how I know. Okay. Let me tell you how I know. There was this wrestler. I can't remember his name. I think it may have been Boy George. It was one of these old wrestlers, right? Old wrestlers. And they said that he was gay, but he was back in the day. It was like not even so much DL. They just didn't bring it up. But he would always be trying to holler at different wrestlers, right? Especially the young wrestlers. And everybody knew that even when he got to like an executive position, when he was just a behind the scenes guy, he would always be trying to make passes at the other guys. And everybody knew it, right? But he never was fired. He never did any of that other stuff though, bro. And everybody knew it. It was just culturally one of those things about him that people knew. And I think that culturally, this is what everybody know to be true. I don't, because if you can't tell me that Triple H heard this and was like, he knew, bro. Triple H knew. And I feel bad because I like Triple H though, bro. And Triple H is my guy though, bro. But he had to have known. Listen, Ace Kennedy, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. I consult with you. I look for your word, your advisement, almost on most things, though, bro, because I trust your word. I trust that you would want to give me sound advice. I trust your feedback, though, bro. So if I'm out here doing something though, bro, if I'm out here wilding out, it's safe to say Ace probably knew about it though, bro.
Right, but the difference between that us and them, right? That's his father-in-law, bro. Vince.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Vince was known to be one of the most headstrong individuals ever, right? And I'm sure he had people that had to set things up. Like, and that's the thing. The company is TKO has already said we is about to clean house. We getting rid of anybody that had any.
Get them out of there, bro. Get them all out there. And listen, and I feel bad in saying this, but if they find that Triple H was at all complicit or enabled, Triple H got to get out of there too, though, bro. Stephanie McMahon, how do you look if you Stephanie McMahon and you talk about a women's evolution and you see here got your dad out here being a predator in the company?
Yeah, but how would she know, bro? You know, parents do stuff and their kids don't.
She would know the same way Triple H would know.
Yeah, I can't agree with that only because Stephanie was not in the day-to-day operations like Triple H was. She wasn't. She wasn't. Do you think Shane knew?
Yes. Shane knew about all them girls. All of them knew that about Vince. Yes. I believe everybody in WWE knew about all of them girls that was in the previous lawsuit. Yes, they all knew. That's part. Listen, bro, that to me, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, bro. That seems like it's part of the WWE culture, is accepting that that's the kind of stuff that Vince do. So yes, I do believe it, bro. All of them knew.
What else we got, bro?
Let's talk about Megan, bro, because I can't wait to talk about Megan. I've been waiting to talk about Megan, bro.
I'm gonna let you set it up, bro.
And listen, I called you a few days before the whole thing came out. When I first heard his, I called you up and I said, yo, bro, I think that Megan and Nicki is about to have beef. And I said, I heard the song. The first time I heard it, I called you immediately after. I said, yo, I heard his. And I heard Megan say, y'all worried about Megan, need to be worried about Megan's law. And I said, wait a minute. Megan's law is the law that requires sex offenders to register. And I said, wait. That seems kind of random because I thought, why? I only can think of Nicki Minaj, right? Nicki Minaj's husband and her brother also are both registered sex offenders. And Nicki has gone out of her way to defend her husband in that regard about their age and everything like that, whatever. But at the same time, though, man, I was just like, why would Megan randomly be saying that? Like, that just seems like such a random blow. And even if it was a sub and not meant for Nicki, I knew that she had to have thought that all the way through, that it would imply Nicki, right? And then sure enough, by the end of that day, Nicki started talking. Ace Kennedy. Nicki comes out with Bigfoot. And I only heard.
Well, nah, you can't jump straight to Bigfoot, bro. Because she didn't come out with that immedially. She spent about 72 hours online fighting.
She was ranting about it. She was ranting about it, right? She was real pissy about it. She was in her feels about it. But I think that I think it wasn't 72. It was more like 48. Because she came back with the song a couple days later. But when she started coming back, she started alluding to some of the lyrics. So by the time the song dropped, it was already all of the bars that she had already been saying on Twitter. So by the time I heard the actual record, I was like, nah, the bars by themselves are cool, right? But you then basically put everything on out there. And I'm just like, wait a minute, bro. Like, all right, what was up? But Ace, my mind was going on this. My mind is going because I've made it very clear. I think that Nicki Minaj is the GOAT, right? And I think that she got to be somewhere in the top top 50, wherever you want to put her all-time rappers, period, right? Of any, doesn't matter, male or female. She's dead.
Right.
But bruh, I never in my life would have imagined. I knew that I thought she took the L to Cardi in the beef. And when I say took the L, I'm only saying that from the standpoint of I thought that in the end, Cardi made off as a bigger artist after the beef, right? It's like she didn't have to come out and I don't think they ever really said each other's names in records, right? But I thought that even with that being said, I thought that Cardi's platform and her name became bigger. And ever since then, it feels like Nicki has been on the descent. And when this happened, though, bro, I thought that it was a repeat of the same thing where I'm watching this and I look at Nicki like she's an MC first that makes records. And I guess I would have thought it would have been something more, right? But when I saw Nicki just kept talking about it. And then I think that when you know you're losing it, when you're on that level, is when you start to either talk about money. Oh, I still make more money than you. Or when you put out your achievements, your records, you try to compare your achievements and records.
Or you start talking legal
stuff. You may have said that might be true. But for this subject in hand, like that's irrelevant. That it's irrelevant to me that you're the all-time highest selling female rapper. When someone just came and pissed on your front yard and this was your response. And what made it worse is that even after you dropped it, you still was reaching, bro. You still was trying to make it go.
Well, the other thing too is you talked at the end of the record.
Yes.
You talked in the end of the record and you like, and there's another one dropping. You got 24 hours to apologize, or I'm dropping the next installment. So I'm waiting to see that.
Now Drake, now with that regard, Drake did drop a record before he dropped back to back. And people like back to back way better. Most people don't even remember the song that Drake dropped, his original diss on the boy
Meek Mill. Meek Mill.
Meek Mill. Right, Meek Mill. Most people don't even remember the record before that. But here's why. This is why I was disappointed with Nicki, right? Because I kind of compared this one to Ether, right? So when you look at it, I thought that his was more of Takeover and Nicki was supposed to drop an Ether. And the reason why I say that is because I thought that Megan had the first one out, and while she had those couple of lines where she didn't exactly say Nicki's name, I thought that she addressed the industry in general, right? The same way how Jay-Z was taking shots at multiple people. So I think that when you know that you've been dissed, right? When you know it, you're supposed to come back with an Ether because now your song is dedicated. It's a dedicated diss, right? So you to me are supposed to come with something that's hard. And I thought that Nicki's bars were hard. I didn't particularly care for the beat, right? But I was like, all right, straight. And I didn't particularly care for the structure of the song, like the cadence. It was just like, I just thought that she would have like, you know how Remy Ma dropped Sheetha, and it was one of the ones that had everybody talking. Like, I think this got everybody talking, but for the wrong reasons, though, bro.
I will say I did appreciate the fact that she did at least drop some bars, though.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate
the bars that she did drop. I think were dope, but it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, you drop some hot bars. I think on a different beat and in a different format, I thought that those would have landed a little bit more flush, right? And I think that because she picked like this Detroit style beat, and it was more up tempo, and that's why the song was so spacey, because she was doing this Detroit style beat that's using Detroit. They're using Detroit style beats. This new, they're not new, but the Detroit sound is usually like 95 to like 110, 115 BPMs. And so they rap that Teddy T Grizzly style flow. And so I thought that she was trying to do her regular flow on that beat. And it just didn't land like that though, even though the bars was dope. And so now I'm not gonna lie, it does make me look forward to what else if she's gonna drop something else. But if I'm Megan though, bro, I said what I had to say, and she's not giving me anything at all that I think is worth me even responding to the first time or a second time. So it's like, if you're saying if you don't respond, I'm gonna drop another one. If I'm Megan, I'm thinking like, well, hell, what you said the first time wasn't better than what I said the first time. So your second time, you could go ahead and drop the second one. And then if I'm Megan still, now look at the second, I think the best response is a no response. Listen, man. In battle rap, as a battle rap fan, it's what we would call a gentleman's 3-0, bro. You had some dope bars, but you lost every round of this, though, bro.
Who caught the strays? Did you catch the Cardi strays from Nicki?
Well, listen, no. You know who caught something that I thought I was the only one that caught. So in Megan's song, she said something about she said y'all talking about girls with BBLs when you got the same scar as them, right? And I was like, wait a minute, because I've been hearing for probably a good part of the last 5 years that the boy Drake has been like hulking up. He's been working out real heavy, so he's way bigger. But people have been saying that Drake been out here and got BBL, or when it got some lipo, like everybody's been associating that with him. And I thought I was like, people are talking about the Nicki because that to me seemed the most obvious one. But I thought that the one that people wasn't talking about though, man, and it was like, I mean, this is like a sniper one from long range that nobody's talking about though, bro. That I think that she was implying Drake on that though, bro. I love this. I love bias because she is a Texas treasure and should be protected at all times. But I respect that she felt like some of y'all ain't protecting me like y'all should. So I'm going to go ahead and empty the clip on everybody. And I thought that she held her own though, bro. And I think that this one, listen, in the end, this one might go down as a top 10. This might be a top 10 diss record of all time though, bro. Top 10.
Yeah, I definitely heard the Cardi subs though from Nicki when she was doing all of Cardi's vernacular, her mannerisms. I
always
and stuff.
think that Nicki's rapping about Cardi. I think this.
I mean, I know, but this was the first. I know you say that, but I'm saying this was the first time that I'm like, why does she keep doing all of Cardi's ad libs and stuff like that?
I listen, Chris Top, you might be right, bro. I might be listening too hard, but it's a merit there, bro. Like I know I ain't just tripping all the way. I could be
the fact that you're not the only one. Plus, you listening from a battle rap's perspective.
I'm listening from a battle rap. Listen, from a battle rap perspective, that's like a triple entendre, bro. That's out there, right? And you can think that you can say that about Funk Master Flex, right? Where Funk Master Flex then went out and he got lipo. There's other rappers that people have been saying got lipo. So
Kanye said it himself.
Huh?
Kanye said it himself that he got it.
Kanye then when it got it. So it's like, bro, like, yeah. So I thought, bro, that's like that ain't nothing, bro. Like I think that she might not be talking about Drake, but she's talking about somebody, and I don't think that people that line is going. Not to say that I got the ultimate ear, but I think that line is going over a lot of people's head, though, bro.
Yeah,
I love it. Now, here's the thing. I got a question for you.
What's up?
So it used to be that before, for a long time, that when you used to need that hit from a female, you had to come through Nicki for 10 years almost, right? Before Cardi jumped on the scene, like it was hard pressed because you had Trina for a little while, not like that level though. But for maybe a 10-year run, Nicki had like a chokehold on female features if you needed that rap. And Cardi came, and then Glorilla came, and then Megan came. Not different orders, but my point is this though, bro. In the same way how a lot of male rappers not fall off, but they're not as hot anymore. Are we really, really watching Nicki's decline? Because she put out this album, and I get that she said, oh, this album has all these songs that are platinum, whatever. That's cool. I don't necessarily, when you put out streaming numbers, you and I know that those ain't real, right? So, but there are other female artists who can say some of the same things. They're moving units. They're selling records. So my question for you is this: seeing that we haven't seen the big Nicki Minaj WAP, the big Bodak. We always compare everything for Nicki to Bodak, and we're comparing Nicki to them instead of when we would compare them to Nicki. Like, are we watching her like low-key fall off, bro?
That's a good question, because here's my thing. I listened to as much of the album as I could, and I didn't hear their WAP. You know what I'm saying? The song that's just out of here, right? There's songs that I like. There's songs that were dope. Nicki did her Nicki thing, but I didn't hear the smash. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know if we're seeing a decline. I just think the landscape is changing for her.
Listen, if Nicki, this is my thing. If Nicki, but because she went on to say every project that Megan has put out has flopped, right? And I think that's relative to if you're talking about people buying albums, right? When we know that people don't, when you say something is platinum, and with how streams are bought and the marketing behind that, I just always thought that the way that you can really tell if somebody's hot is based off of their visibility, right? So like that, like I saw Megan Thee Stallion on a Planet Fitness commercial, right? And I saw Megan Thee Stallion on another commercial. I forgot what it was. And I saw her on a Super Bowl commercial last year. And I'm thinking, like, regardless of me, how many units somebody tell, you can tell by who's hot because of how visible they are, right? Like, you can tell that Cardi cooled off some because you don't see her in front of a camera no more. You saw her a couple of years ago when she was on the Pepsi commercial, right? And she was hot, and you knew that regardless of how many album streams she had, that you knew that apparently if she's in front of everybody that she's hot. So I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I don't see Nicki, like, she got a new project out like that, and I don't see her in front like that no more. So it's like, you're still relevant, right? But it's hard, bro. It's hard. I would have never I thought that Nicki truly would have been like the equal to Drake, where Nicki's had the longest run for a hot female rapper, but Drake still moves the needle, right? He's still the pulse of it. I thought that Nicki would still be that, and it doesn't seem like she's that.
Well, you can say, I think the Barbs would disagree, but I understand what you're saying.
I mean, the Barbs would listen. Listen. I'm not quite a Barb, but you'd be hard pressed to find a Biggie Nicki Minaj fan than me. But I'm also realistic enough to know that not just that other chicks are gaining on her. It's just I think that people are gaining on. People are in her territory of being hot right now, right? Like hot, like yeah, she still can. I think Nicki still probably can out rap them. But it's just, I think that most older MCs can still out rap a lot of the young dudes. You still don't, you get better with time with that. I just think that in terms of hotness though, bro, I just think that that's where I think that Nicki's scale is turning down a little bit though, bro.
What else we got, bro? Before we get out of here,
Super Bowl. You want to hold off on picking that?
Yeah, let's hold off on it. We can because we can get into actually the playoff stuff too. We can talk about
and you know what though, man. Next week, the one thing I wanted to get your opinion on. I don't think we've talked about this off camera either, though, bro. I saw something that said that Joel Embiid is 6 games. If he misses 6 games for the rest of the year, that he won't be eligible to be MVP. It won't be eligible for those postseason awards.
Yep. Only reason why I knew that is because
about that, bro.
Well, the reason why it's important to me is because Shea is in the MVP conversation.
Yes.
So every time that boy be sitting out for foot soreness, the Reddit be going off like foot soreness.
And you know what though? Listen, I got a problem, and we can talk about this. I got a problem that Joel Embiid doesn't play in Denver, bro. He hasn't played in Denver since 2019. Right? He doesn't. He had in 5 years. They've been keeping track with it. He just does it. Anytime that they play, anytime that Joker plays in Philly, he suits up every single time. He's never missed it. But he's never played the Joker in Denver, bro.
Maybe that
it's like he's running for that smoke.
Or the altitude is getting him. Denver, bro.
Bro, get out of my face with that. But listen, if he missed it this time when he missed it, them games is gonna count. I definitely want. We can talk about that because I like it. I think that those kind of awards should come with your availability, though, man. So yeah, we talk about that the next time around. What's good with you? What you got for the week, though, man?
Man, Sarah still got stuff going on, so just taking care of the household, and that's about it, bro. Just taking care of the household this week, and then
listen. This week I'm mixing, and listen. So this was funny. I had an incredible. So let me just before we get off. The new digs, right? Coming live from the new digs. You got the air horn. All right. So what was pretty cool about it is that I finally got the sound right that I wanted to go for. Had a cool session. Had the homeboy PPR come through, and the one thing that's real cool is that this will be his. As long as me and him have been rapping. This is the first time he's did a solo project. He's been in groups forever. He's written songs. This is the first one. And I think that the one thing that's pretty cool is that he's still trying to find the sound, right, of the album, though, man. So he got a couple of songs that we were doing, man, that he's doing a lot of singing on, right? And so it's funny, though, man, because I've been tapping into some different tools and everything. So this week, I think that I'm probably going to be doing a lot of mixing. I think that I'm hoping to do just a lot of fine tuning because I'm still trying to find that one. If I can get this right, I think this might set the tone for his whole project, though, man. So we came through and knocked out about 5 solid songs, oh man. But it was cool. Had him, had the Fresh Shake Boss, had the boy Ben pull up, and Ben's talking about he want to go ahead and do a project as well. And it's real cool, though, man. One of the things I was really going for with the new spot is I wanted when people come through that it had that big studio feel to it, though, man. And so I think that it was real cool that we had our whole session in here and we were just vibing. I'm in the basement, so I had my bar on over here, had some drinks. Felt real official, though, man. I was like, yeah. So it was dope, man. It was real dope. So I'm gonna be back on that mixing real heavily this week, though, man, and trying to tighten him on up, though, bro. Yeah,
man. Well, look, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. We are the Slash Brothers. Join us every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. We love y'all, and we out.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?